Hey everybody, Chris here. After Saturday night's US bombing of Iranian nuclear facilities, there's a lot of uncertainty in the markets. Crypto has reacted initially on Saturday, but Sunday seems to be holding a bit. Where is this going to go from here? Is this make or break for Dogecoin? Will support hold? We're going to talk about all of that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You'll be notified when new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And I will be live Sunday afternoon as well to talk more about how the trading has gone on Sunday and how things look going into Sunday night. So please be sure you are subscribed, you have all of your notifications on, so you know when the live starts. We try and have a little fun with the live too, but right now fun is not in the cards as we are looking at this make or break line. Where is that for Bitcoin and Doge? Let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start with the current Dogecoin price, just over 15.5 cents here. Doge is actually up over the past 12 hours. A little bit holding well. Bitcoin as well is up at 1027. It has dipped though. Last night we did have Bitcoin dipping to 101. Not under 100K, 101, and that was the dip for Bitcoin last night. Dogecoin did come down to about 15.15. There are others that have dipped more though. There was ETH, which never did recover much, so ETH has been relatively flat since the Saturday night drop, but others like Algorand overnight have failed more. And then we have a number of the memes as well, like Pepe, dropped quite a bit and came down to 0.00089. That's right. So added a zero yesterday and now did come below that 90 level to about 89. So a lot of tenuous trading right now and uncertainty, of course, on a Sunday. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, support seems to be holding. So what is that? And what's causing this? What's going on? Let's get into it. So Bitcoin price risks sub 100K dive after Trump confirms the Iran strikes. So that's where we start. And we know what the Magic 8 Ball said, right? The Magic 8 Ball did predict, and this was over a week ago now, that the 8 Ball did predict that we would see Bitcoin go below 100K. So that is still in the possibility. We know how Sundays go, right? Sunday, especially Sunday nights, very risky trading. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at. Again, we'll explore that in more detail in the live stream later on Sunday. But even the altcoins, right? The altcoins turn red as U.S. strikes Iran, major escalation. And as I just showed, right? Actually, Dogecoin is holding well. ETH, Cardano, AI tokens dropped more, right? Bitcoin now holding above 102K. A dip below 100K mark is possible if conflict escalates. So we will be watching all of that. And of course, we also have a lot of liquidations, right? And that's what happens when you see those big price drops. So Saturday night, $300 million in ETH, long leverage. I mean, these are just the traders, right? Thinking, the whole thing's going to turn around. I'm going to do leverage long. And we even had one in the chat on Saturday who had placed a Doge leverage long, and they're just barely holding on. I think their leverage, their liquidation price was like 1502, and Doge did not quite hit that. So his leverage trade is still open, but is tenuous. Again, I just say stay away from leverage, right? And I'm not the only one saying that too. Now here's Doge as well. $11 million in liquidations on Doge trades. That's a lot. And there wasn't a lot of leverage out there to begin with, so it's almost all gone for Doge. There's just not a lot more long leverage trades left. There's a few of you though. I do know that. A lot of shorts up higher. We'll look at the heat maps during the live stream as well, so make sure to join in on that. But listen, guys. Here's what Degen Gambler Zero says. Everything's red and suddenly everyone's a philosopher. Maybe the bull runs over. Maybe we never go back up. Bro, you were max bidding dog coins 2 weeks ago. And there were a lot of you who were like, Oh, it's not going to go lower. This is it. I'm going to go. And those are the leverage traders who get wiped out. But also, it's all of you guys that are complaining to me because your portfolio's down, because you were going all in on 22-cent Doge, on that last run. And you're like, okay, this is it. And I was like, I'm not buying 22-cent Doge in this environment. I don't know what to say, but just be careful. I mean, you buy on the red candles, not the green. We talk about all of that. But this is how the game works. It shakes you out before it takes off, bleeds you slow, makes you doubt everything, and then sends when you're on the sidelines coping. If you had conviction at higher prices, why fold now when it's actually cheap? Someone came in on the live stream yesterday and said, if this doesn't turn around in 2 weeks, I'm just selling it all. And I'm just like Zero says here, bro, why would you sell, right, at the bottom in the summer? Why would you sell? You don't need to catch the exact bottom. That mindset wrecks more portfolios than bad entries. Grab what you believe in, chill, and don't get greedy trying to save 5% on something that's down 60%. Also, don't play hero with leverage. Again, even he's saying it, right? Just because they're still taking it out. They're still taking it out. Survival is greater than perfection. Narratives aren't dead. They're dormant. And when they wake up, they won't ask you if you're ready. Stay alive, stay sharp. The next wave's not waiting for confirmation. And of course, you guys know what I've been saying since January, right? And you don't want to hear it. I know you don't want to admit it, but it's the fall. I've said fall 2025, and I've been saying that since January. Been very consistent about that. And some of you are just saying, oh, Chris is misleading us. And he's like, I think I've been very, yes, I was buying on dips. Even at 17 cents, I bought on that dip. That was a big red candle down. You don't know where the bottom is, right? You don't know. And now we're fighting 15-cent Doge. Maybe it drops into the 14s too. You don't know. So Bitcoin has this big double bottom chart that Trader Allen's looking at. And I mean, we can look at all the TA, right? And again, this is what I say again. You can look at the TAs and you can look at the support and resistance lines and all of that. But the news and the leverage is always going to overtake whatever your lines on a chart say. Whatever your fib lines are, whatever your support lines are, it doesn't matter, right? Are you understanding that now? It doesn't matter. The news is always going to overtake it and the leverage. The market makers can control the markets when volume is down. The news cycle will slow down, and then the market makers will take over again, and then we will see more of this, right? Remember last week, Bitcoin was going up, right? Taking out all those shorts. That was not just random, right? And it took out the shorts and then dropped and took the longs. And now we've got this going on, taking out more longs. That's the game. Don't get shaken out, right? You can do swing trading in this, maybe, just be careful. But the better thing is, like, if you have conviction about crypto and how crypto is going to perform, you just buy in the dips and you wait it out. And I know that's not the sexiest thing to say, right? And that's not rocket ships to the moon. But that's what it is. And this is what we wait for. The patterns are here. Here's Bitcoin, 2017 to 2025. Right? This whole narrative, right? And even James Wynn was saying it, like, 4-year cycles are over, it's finished. And I'm like, not necessarily. It's like this overall bull, right, market of 2022 to 2025 is not over yet. We had Bitcoin down to 15.5, right? Bitcoin has moved up. Now, not all alts have moved up like Bitcoin and aren't staying up like Bitcoin. But Bitcoin still controls the narrative. Bitcoin dominance is up, yes, right? But a lot of you are betting on altcoins. And you know Doge, right? Doge goes on spikes. Doge goes on spikes. But we still have this last thing of 2017. Or maybe we have the second run of 2021 that El Crypto Prof here is calling a fake out, when actually it was the second part of that bull market. There was that last part. That was fall of 2021. We could still see that for fall of 2025. And that big run, the top off that we had at the end of that was the fall of 2017. That can all still happen. And that's what I'm looking at. Look, we have ETH, right? ETH on the weekly, 7 weeks in a row. We're in this range, and now ETH has failed that, right? Broken through support, down, right? The news, again, will overtake, as well as the market makers, again. I mean, we look at this, right? And we say, look, ETH, $300 million of ETH longs liquidated. That's twice what the Bitcoin bets were on the leverage, because they were betting on ETH going up. It's the news and the leverage, guys. Now look at Dogecoin, right? Dogecoin, make or break support level, right? Look when this article was written, April 5th. Okay, what happened on April 5th? Well, April 7th was liberation, right? And all of that about like the Trump tariffs and all that. We were at that make or break then, right? And there was all this talk about how failing to break above 18 cents at the time. We know that it was down 65% from its 48-cent multi-year high, late November, early December of 2025 or 2024. And Ali had this chart. Remember, we were always watching this chart? And what I had responded to Ali on this chart was like, yeah, Doge is not like bouncing off this support level and moving back up. Not going to happen. It's going to bleed out to the side with dips, because that's what happens. And that is how that played out. So his long-standing bullish channel got denied, as Chris Pax predicted, right? We don't see him post this anymore because it's invalid now. So he doesn't post this anymore. But Trader Allen's like, look, the 100 SMA has supported Doge for over a year. It's now retouching this SMA again on the weekly chart. Well, the week closes tonight. And if we go to the weekly on Dogecoin, we will see that Doge is now below that moving average. Will Doge recover back above it and stay above that 100-week moving average? Or is it going to be below, which all of the charting strategists, right, the TA guys are going to say, oh, that invalidates that. And that's typically what we see, invalidates. So, but will we soon see a push for Dogecoin back up? And will it go past 22 cents? Are we going to see this move, right? This golden cross, we talked about this the other day on the weekly. This is between the 10 and the 20 weekly moving average. Again, they're just lines that cross each other. This is coming, but the fall is still out there, and we don't know what's going to happen with that. So that's where we are right now. Again, it's going to be news driven. That's the fact. Bitcoin, is it going to hold 101? Are we going to see this drop later? We'll be exploring this on the live stream, so join in there later on Sunday. And then Sunday night is just going to be tenuous. U.S. futures are going to open. That's when the stocks are going to react to what happened over the weekend. Most likely will be red. So there could be more deeper buying opportunities. Again, all the TA in the world isn't going to tell you what's going to happen here. So let me know in the comments below. What do you think about make or break, support levels, all of that? And what are you doing with your portfolio right now? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.